Good evening, South Africa. It is 6 o'clock. Goeienaand, Suid-Afrika. 6 uur, Molweni Mzansi, up by 6 o'clock p.m. And it's very good to see you as promised. Tonight, one of those Neil's moments, some time with myself that I've dedicated, that at least twice a month we can spend an hour together with a question and answer session. That we can actually interact with each other instead of every Wednesday, 9 o'clock, which is my, can I call it State of the Nation update, which is every single Wednesday at 9 o'clock in the morning. We have set aside certain Thursdays, probably every second one, at 6 o'clock. Sorry, the aircon. These are the thrills of working at home. Firstly, may I thank everybody for the kind messages and for the wishes of getting well soon. Ek wil net vir almal sê baie dankie. Ons is absoluut oorval met boodskappe van gesond word, van seëninge en van beter word. En ek wil net sê ek waardeer dit opreg. Soos julle kan sien, die oog is stadig maar seker om reg te kom. Lyk maar op hierdie oomblik soos Pirates of the Caribbean. En ek sien nou, ek het nou 'n bynaam gekry van Moshe Dayan van Israel. Maar gelukkig met die Here se bewaring sal dit nou nie permanent wees nie. Maar hulle sê in die land van die een oog, of in die land van die blinde is die een oog koning, né? So I just want to say to everybody, thank you very much for the notes of recovery. I really appreciate it. To those people that are not so technically updated, I got a guy this morning, yes, that physically wrote an email to ask why does it seem that my eye patch moves. Ek weet nie, ek dink is hy Jaco luister gou. Ek wens ek kon my oog en my operasie skuif van my linker en my regterkant toe, maar let me just explain. It's not a trick. When you do certain camera positioning, the inverted camera switches you around and it looks like my eye patch is on that side. But when you do a front-end camera, it shows you. So if you can look at my stunning gift that I got from a friend behind me, it's a mirror image. So that's why you read it that way. It's like when you pluck ambulance on the front of an ambulance, you don't write it ambulance, you write it in a mirror image. So that when you look in the mirror, you can actually spell ambulance, Jaco. So, yeah. That's a scientific, very long explanation van hoekom links en regs. So ek weet, 'n hele epos, né? So the whole operation took place on my right eye. I had a retina tear. I went in for surgery to attach the retina Friday at 3, and that's where I am at the moment. So the eye patch, I will be able to wear it for the next 3 weeks, and yeah, chop. So everybody, thank you. Baie goed om julle te sien. And I've got just a couple of administrative things that I'd like to get done. Yeah, it's an inverted camera, so I think that's the right word. Firstly, I'd like to just address the matter of the membership. We are on more than 3,000 written applications, not of membership, but of people sending their info. We are getting approximately 85 to 120 now a day. Unbelievable, ongelooflik. Lidmaatskap is nou aan die gang. The process where we will be going into actual now, the membership platform. Next week, Wednesday, 9 o'clock on my weekly update to the nation, we will be addressing that. But thank you to everybody. Almal van die hele land. And the demographic being white, black, colored, Indian, everybody is piling in. En ek wil vir die mense sê baie dankie. I can now notice membership at uimsa.org is exploding. We've hired more staff and we are now getting in. So what we've decided to do is we've decided to put now what you get an automated reply. You've got to bear with us. The automated reply is helping us. Because the minute that you send an email, you get one back automated with a questionnaire of detail within a minute. I tested it myself yesterday. You complete the automated reply and you send it back and you get logged in the system that the minute that we go into membership, target date 15 February, nationally, you will then get included into that platform. So membership at uimsa.org, hou aan daarmee, go for it. And spam box.
The email goes to spam.
So yeah, so I've just been told by Sydney, my assistant, can you also just check that it sometimes goes into the spam box. Dit gaan in daai junk mail box. Kyk net daar, want dit is gewoonlik wat gebeur. So moenie dink ons antwoord julle terug nie. Kyk maar aan it sometimes goes to spam. Daai junk box, so kyk maar net uit daarvoor. Ja Johan, so jy is nou agterste voor. Hoe ry die boere? Hey, when apang omslaan jy ook om so apang, hè. So ja, ek is alright. Ek kan julle sien. En kabaar goed om jou te sien. So that's the first thing I was asked to address is keep on sending membership at uimsa.org. We will explain next week what the membership entails, all the structures, and I can just tell you there's a big surprise coming on our announcement next week, Wednesday, 9 o'clock in the morning. Groot surprise, because again, we will outshine, outdo every political party in this country. So that's a promise. On Wednesday, we will tell you. So look forward to that. Look forward to a great announcement. But I'm asking you, you want change? You want a united country for all demographic, all race, all language, all religion? The UIM is where you should be. The UIM is waar jy moet wees. That's the only way we are going to make change in this country. Is taking our country back ward for ward. City for city. Metro for metro. And then in 2024, as independent candidates to get up and be we the people again. So tonight, I am just clarifying that next week, Wednesday, 27th, we are going to announce our structure and the basics of membership. So keep on sending your membership, not application, but info so that we can get back to you on membership at uimsa.org. I wanted to chat to you tonight about something that very few people know about, surprisingly, and that is my book. And it's the book of my brother, Brad Stein, who has just joined us from Los Angeles, America. Puti, Brad, wow, it is enormous having you here. So, about 2-3 years ago, my brother Brad, who has been staying in the United States since 18 years ago when we had to make a decision in the country. As you know, after we became a democracy in 94, we were overseas. I went overseas. Brad remained, and a patriot, Brad Stein. So everybody asked me, but he's got a different surname. He's not my blood brother. He's not my brother by mom. He's my brother by blood and by an experience that still today binds us. A story of my brother Brad and the story of 4 men that stood up in the time of the struggle and knew that it was time for change. In other words, we had our own Rubicon moment. And I'd like to discuss that tonight clearly with you. So I'd like to show you the book. So there's a younger Neil and The people on the book are the 4 people, and again it's inverted, so my apology. What it says is undercover with Mandela Spies. This book is the book of our story, of Brad's journey. But on the cover, 4 men. Jeremy Veery, Neil de Beer, General Andre Lincoln, and Bradley Steyn, 4 members of the then DIS, Department of Intelligence Services of MK. So the 2 gentlemen here, General Veery, General Lincoln, are today both senior commanding officers in the South African Police Service. Neil de Beer is an ordinary man, and Brad Steyn today in the United States as a national and international specialist security consultant to countries and to leadership. This book, obviously you can get that exclusive books in all bookstores. I see you can also now get it from Amazon. Is a book that tells our story. That's my book. That's Brad's a book. And it's a very interesting life story. And my suggestion, not to punt the book, is that you get it. Because there's a hell of a lot in this book that tells you why. And there's a lot of pictures in it. There's a young Neil de Beer in the book. There's my brother. A lot of history, I think, in this book that is told. And I think from our side, there's a book of my brother and myself. Again, Undercover with Nelson Mandela Spies. So I want to talk tonight about that. I want to talk to you about my life. And it's good that my brother's here. Because we were the 2 people that joined the struggle. Now I want to answer questions van, ek dink is tyd dat ons met mekaar reguit praat. Oor hierdie gerugte van verraaier. Mense wat aan mekaar vir my sê, maar ek het my volk verraai en al sulke absolute utter rubbish. En ek wil dit vanaand uitkry met almal wat hier is. 596 mense op die lyn, en as jy wil, kan jy 'n watch party nou ook doen. I'd like you to do me a favor, because I would like to make it clear, because I'm going to speak about my life. I'm going to tell you about my life as a spy and intelligence officer, actually not a spy. There's not spies in the world. That's something created by the movies. I want to talk to you about being an intelligence officer trained by the KGB to fight the legacies of the apartheid era for reconciliation and unification in this country. And I'm going to speak to you tonight about what I term as a traitor. People that should carry that title. And I'd like you to do me a favor. Ek wil dit nou uit hê. En klaar. Jackie. 2 dae het jy het klaar gelees. Jackie, ons broer, one of our executive members. So I'd like you to ask me. Moenie bang wees nie. Want ek is maar 'n soldaat. Ek het my decisions gemaak. En ek staan daarby. Maar by die tyd wat jy klaar is, en by die tyd wat jy verby is in oorlog, as jy nou regtig 'n soldaat was, as jy soos ek in die trenches was saam met my broer en ander lede, jy weet, net as jy 'n regtig soldaat was en jy het beklei en daar was moord en jy's gemoor en ons het beklei, ons het deur bomme en dan gaan jy regtig opstaan en handskud. Ja, jy kan. Yes, of course you can. It is very possible that after war, that both sides get up and shake their hands. Because after war, you must reconcile. After war, no matter what side, you must get together and say respect. And if you can't, you should never have been called a soldier or a person that fought for your ideology. I think in the past 5 months, the book, the multitude of media, the multitude of videos. This Sunday I will be on Kwela, on KykNet. Monday morning I will be live at 7:10 in the morning on RSG. Anybody that does not know me by now that has an interest, I'm sorry, you will never know me. Because it seems that our country struggles. It seems that the people that fought prior to 94, some have not forgiven. Some want to continue a war. Now here's a message to you. I know who you are. I can see you. I can hear you. I fought you. And when the ANC took over this country, like it or not, we started understanding the previous enemy clearly. Maar hier is die ding, Suid-Afrika. Kom ons praat man. In certain places you are called a terrorist and in certain places you are called a liberation fighter. It's to the victor. You see, Napoleon said, history is dictated and written by the victor. Geskiedenis word in die annale geskryf deur die persoon wat die oorlog gewen het. Maar nou moet ons vra, het ons die oorlog gewen? Of het die nasionale party met sy leierskap na 'n referendum in 1991 waar die meerderheid wit mense in hierdie land besluit het om vir Mandela vry te laat en die ANC te ontban. Ek vra, is hulle ook verraaiers? Nee, kom ons praat Suid-Afrika. Kom. You see, I never joined the National Party. See, I was too young. I was too young. I was very young. Like any other 18-year-old, 17-year-old, and 19-year-old man, I went to the army. I got put on a train at 18. I left Wingfield Base in Cape Town to Heidelberg, where I did my national service and subsequently went to the border. I left the border, I came back, I left the National Defence Force in 1988, and in 1989 I joined as a recruit the security police, a branch in Cape Town, where I recruited my brother Brad to join an undercover unit of SAPS. This is in the book, where I then participated on behalf of the South African apartheid regime, doing some stuff which no one wants to remember. You see, it's funny that while we murdered and defended the apartheid regime, I was classed as a hero. But when you leave and you fight an injustice, you are called a terrorist. So I don't understand that when you clearly believe in a system and that system fails, and you understand that you've got to move to protect the nation, that people don't get you. Ek verstaan dit nie. Want vandag sit alle manne wat blank is oor 50. Hulle het almal gedien. Nou ek hou nie daarvan. I might not like the fact that I'm looking at my previous enemy. I am dealing with my enemy. Maar as een ding wat ek weet, I never joined the ANC, I joined Nelson Mandela. It says undercover with Mandela Spy. Why? Wel, kom ons praat Suid-Afrika, want julle weet mos beter. Julle het mos Mandela ontmoet. Julle het vir Mandela gewerk. Julle het koffie met hom gehad. Of praat sekere mense net luitere nonsens? Want jy het vir Mandela by 'n rugby stadium 6 km weg gesê, en as iemand vir jou vra, dan sê jy, nee, ek ken vir Mandela. Snert, man. Absoluut snert. So you know him? Maybe de Klerk. Jy het mos nou melktyd en koffie en beskuit met F.W. de Klerk gesit en drink. Louter nonsens. So you want the truth is here. Die waarheid is hier. Ons land kom uit 'n apartheid era, en in daai era was daar op en af. In daai era was daar 'n volksbesluit, en ek was deel van daai. Nee, maar mag geen mistake nie. Ek het vir al twee kante gemoor. Ek het vir al twee kante gewerk oor 'n ideologie wat ek in geglo het, maar jy weet 'n mens wat 'n brein het, a person that's got an IQ can change and monitor the situation of what is just and unjust. Trevor, you've got to understand me right now. When you call Nelson Mandela a terrorist, then what do you call Eugene de Kock? Don't talk rubbish, man. Trevor, tell me quickly, where did you serve in uniform? What year? And what did you do for your country that you can make such a statement? So I want to quickly ask, when there's an injustice, when an apartheid regime that was declared by the United Nations, jy moet nou hoor, apartheid was declared by the United Nations as a crime against humanity. But you want to perpetually continue and making the other side angels and not guilty. Trevor, you're an unwise human being and you should get history because you are naive. A war was fought. A war against people of color. And that's undeniable because I was part of it, man. So, Trevor, the reason why today you can call Mandela a terrorist is because we allowed you. No. Trevor, jy moet nou mooi hoor, want jou naam en van is hier. I want to know, where did you serve? And if you served in apartheid government in uniform, then tell me where you served. Because I will then judge you as a previous opponent if you're on a level or not. Because you're sitting there, beknownst to us, and you're speaking to soldiers here. So, Trevor, you must be very wise in calling people terrorists. Because both were wrong. You see, I can admit to it. I'll find your name. If we really go back, I am telling you right now, Nelson Mandela did not want war. Nelson Mandela wanted reconciliation. Now, I don't know where people like Trevor pops out. But this is above your pay grade. Hierdie is bo jou vuur maak klek, man. This is where people got together under the auspices for peace. Like it or not. So jy moet ophou louter nonsens praat met mense. Because let me quickly tell you, Trevor, I'd like to have you on a one-on-one. Look me in my eye, man. Yeah, Trevor Thorson, you're a mouse. Because on both sides, be it the Boeremag, Defence Force Police, MK and KGB, jy moet oppas met wie jy praat heen. Because you are part of the people that spread hate, that spread an unreconcilable nation. And people died on both sides. That today you can flaunt the constitution of freedom of speech, young man. So I'm chastising you, Trevor. Klim terug in jou gat. Because 50 million people in this country want peace. They want reconciliation. So when people ask me, Neil, when did you leave the ANC? I never left the ANC. Because to leave something, you've got to be part of it. And I'll get to that. But I'm still dealing with lower IQ leveled cave dwelling Trevors. Nelson Mandela took a decision. Nelson Mandela wasn't arrested because he was leading a march. Nelson Mandela was a freedom fighter, a person that decided to fight the apartheid regime head on. Like the apartheid regime decided to fight the non-white people head on. But it's funny. No, it's weird. Nee, wat Kevin? Hou die vinger styf terug. Ja, ek het al meer as 'n vinger gewys. But then, read the book. You see, when you sit behind a little computer, you're brave. When you become a Facebook warrior, you're brave, but people that died and people that have scars, people that fought and took gunshots, we are actually the people that want to reconcile the most in this country. We want to unite. Because it's only people that were at war that don't want war again. Jy kan maar met almal gaan praat in hierdie land wat in oorlog was. Hulle het gesien wat oorlog doen. Ons wil nie weer oorlog hê nie. Niemand in hierdie land wat ons land liefhet, wat ons kinders liefhet, wil oorlog hê nie. Daai jong wit seuns wat gegaan het om 'n land te verdedig op hulle eie reg, wat teruggekom het in sakke, wat uit die grens van Roendo gefliek is, Grootfontein, Waterkloof, en terug na hulle maas en paas wat nie meer hulle seuns het nie. Kan ook nie vergeet word nie. Ek is baie publiek daaroor. Niemand aan die kant van die apartheidregering en die ANC het gewen nie. Ek kan sê, want ek het baie mense wat seuns en dogters verloor het. Suid-Afrika, ons moet ophou man. Suid-Afrika, het is tyd. Het is tyd dat ons regtig besin. Het is tyd dat ons in die lig gaan. Het is tyd dat ek my era agter my sit van ANC en die verlore Nelson Mandela. Want ek het gesê, as Nelson Mandela met F.W. de Klerk vrede praat, dan gaan ek hom help. If Nelson Mandela in the private undercover talks said that we want to reconcile, then we will reconcile. And there were people like me that was sitting there listening about what Nelson Mandela wanted. He didn't want war. He didn't want to fight anymore. Nelson Mandela wanted peace. South Africa, he brought peace. Let me show you how he brought peace. He left Afrikaans in the national anthem. Whoa, South Africa, whoa. Wag, ek was daar. I was part of the discussions. Daar's nie een ding wat die nasionale party deur Rolf Meyer nie gesit en onderhandel het nie man. Rolf Meyer, Neil Barnard, F.W. de Klerk, Pik Botha. Does that sound familiar? I'm asking. Do these names like Constant Viljoen, Magnus Malan, Adrian Vlok, does it sound familiar to you, South Africa? Well, these were the people negotiating. These were the people that were sent to Kodesa. We were there. Cyril Ramaphosa, Ronnie Kasrils, Nelson Mandela, Chris Hani. These were the people interlocked and had free and fair negotiation. So where were you when we say to each other, terrorist and liberation fight and traitor? Nee, praat ons nou sterk, man. I was there. It was a long struggle. Rolf and Cyril negotiated. Now, to the majority white people in this country, that was your negotiating team. These were appointed by you. Sorry. Democratically elected, or was that? This was the president. Evia. Sound familiar when you talk about now the other side? That negotiated the surrender of South Africa to a multi-party and multi-demographic democracy. There was no coup d'etat. There was no fight. The National Party surrendered. Now let's be clear. The military didn't. Nee, ons wil ons nou reguit praat. Come, let's have it out. Now your leader. Now Neil de Beer. For the truth shall set you free. So ask your questions. Come, I'm waiting. Sodat ons nou klaar maak met hierdie storie en julle met die mense in die volk kan gaan praat, that you can talk to the country and say, Neil de Beer is not scared of the truth, man. Neil de Beer fought there. The South African Defence Force never surrendered. The politicians did. No, David, this is not my outcome. As if any outcome in a country that was stuck in an era know what the outcome is. So what do you need? Well, you need to get back. You see, that's why Afrikaans and English and Xhosa and Zulu is part of our 11 languages. You see, that is why the old flag of the Republic is not banned. You didn't know that? Die ou oranje blanje blou. Jy mag hom hê. It wasn't made a crime. Where? Yeah, it's socially unacceptable. It's socially not acceptable, but you can still have that flag and no one can arrest you for it. Can you imagine? Mandela said no. So today, if you go into a house, and I've been in many, baie van my vriende wat Afrikaans is, as ek hulle huis instap, daar by die lapa, bo die lapa hang die ou vlag. I don't freak out. I don't storm out. I understand. So wait a minute. So in the apartheid regime, in the new era, we kept Afrikaans in the national anthem. We didn't ban and make it a criminal offense about the flag. We didn't charge people in apartheid. We had the Truth and Reconciliation. So ek wil vra. Ek wil vra. Does that sound like a person to you that didn't want to reconcile? No, you're wrong. I knew him. He really wanted to continue to finish. And that's why he allowed and supported and fought against his own comrades to keep the Springbok logo for 1995. This is a leader. This is a great leader that I followed. So I want to make it very clear. I decided to leave the African National Congress as a member because I found Nelson Mandela to be gone in spirit and in legacy in the ANC. 5 years ago, it's clear on record, I contested in the African National Congress for leadership because I was not happy. I decided this is no longer mine. And that's why we formed the UIM, so that we could go ahead and bring back unity in this country. That's the story. Sorry if I get annoyed. Sorry if I lose a little bit of my temper. But then again, I'm a soldier at heart. I'm a patriot of this country. I'm in love with the people of this nation. And I totally agree. The TRC failed. Die Waarheids- en Versoeningskommissie het geval. Hoekom? We only got to some truth. But we never got to reconciliation. Eugene de Kok is een van die min mense wat tronk toe gegaan het. Inteendeel, ek dink hy is een van die enigste. So, fast forward to today. I'm a businessman. And yeah, I think you know that. I've got businesses for the past 30 years. I've never even been in government to pay me. Rubbish. I'm a very successful businessman. And it's funny that 3/4 of my businesses are overseas. It's just how it works, family. So I'm asking, isn't it time? Isn't it time that a person that understands the beast, isn't it time that a person that is disciplined in military and security, that has a massive understanding of politics, and currently is a person that has got international standard of economy behind him. But more than that, undoubtedly gave my life to God. A great relationship. An unbelievable relationship with God, my Savior. This relationship with God is unbelievable. And I miss it. I missed it. It's not easy. Want daar lê maar nog steeds 'n slang binne my. Ek is maar 'n fighter, mense. In my family, in my business, in my life, I'm a fighter. And maybe it's time that a fighter that comes from black but born white can lead. You say there's nowhere in the world that I'm not known. There's not a leader in the world that I don't understand and communicate with. As a person that served on the African political platform past the African Union in 2009, I understand global politics. Because at the end of the day, I am an African. Sorry, ek is nie 'n Europeër nie. Ek is gebore in Afrika. Whomever my great-great-fathers were, blessings. Maar ek is gebore in Stellenbosch, in die Wes-Kaap van die Republiek van Suid-Afrika, en ek is 'n trotse Suid-Afrikaner. En ek is 'n trotse Afrikaner. This is my country. Yeah, sure, I don't have to be here. I've worked 22 years of my life. I'm very clear. I'm clear that I don't have to be here. But I won't go. You see, when I left my political ideology because I found no home anymore, I was on my way out. I'm the president of a global fund. I'm the chairman of 8 other companies in the world, which I am honored to be serving. That a South African can, you should be proud that the world decided to choose a South African boykie from Stellenbosch. This is important. So we've left our ideologies at the door. Ons beklei nou vir 'n nuwe land. 'n Land waar ons ideologieë kan saamsmelt. A country for black and white. So the people say, but it looks like the UIM is white. It's not white. Sorry, it's not just for white people. Because we're not just white in this country. We are South Africans. Yes, we are a rainbow nation. But it seems that the colors have faded. The day that we accept that our country is junk is the day that we turn on our own people and qualify our people as junk. No. I fought for freedom. I stand by my fight. Were mistakes made? Yeah. I don't know if anybody saw my video on the day of reconciliation, Gelofte Dag. Ek weet nie of julle dit gesien het nie. But on that day, I said I'm sorry. On behalf of so many mistakes made. An apology was tendered. But so little received. Wat 'n groot mens. It takes a big man. It takes a leader so that we can sit down and lead. And for those that cannot get out of the Rubicon moment, that are stuck on the other side of the river, that still want to have an apartheid state, the UIM is not your place. Because the UIM wants to take over governance, not government. Because governance is it. Suid-Afrikaners, ons moet politici uitskop, man. Maar ek kan dit nie alleen doen nie. Yeah, I've got contacts. I've worked with presidents. I've served presidents. I know what it takes. It takes an anointment of God, and it takes the will of the people, and I don't care who currently has their own opinion, but I'm running for President of the Republic. You see, someone said to me the other day, do you really think South Africa is ready for a white president? You really serious? Or maybe the country is tired of 4 black, pathetic presidents. Huh? Yeah. You want to bring the color to this discussion? You better understand who I am. You want to talk color to me? I'm ready. I've been ready for 32 years. Are you? So they asked Morgan Freeman, great actor, who by the way played Nelson Mandela in a great movie called Invictus. They said to Morgan Freeman, Morgan, how do we stop racism between black and white? And Morgan Freeman said, maybe we should stop calling them black and white. South Africa, this is not about black and white. Hierdie is nie oor swart en wit nie. Hierdie is oor Suid-Afrika. And slowly but surely, people like me, people like you, the 758 people now, that grew from 200 to 700 have decided enough is enough. The people that are walking around now, Yvonne, that says that you are tired of being white, you don't have to apologize. This is your birth. Nomslanze, apa hier Afrika. Mzansi. You have the right to be here. No human being can tell you that you are not South African. It says so in the Constitution. And funny, it says so in the Freedom Charter of the ANC. The African National Congress, the first paragraph in the Charter of the Freedom Charter, which is the Constitution of the ANC. Listen to me very clearly. In the Constitution of the ANC, it says, and this Constitution was written in 1952. Suid-Afrika, luister gou vir my. In 1952 in Klipfontein, in Gauteng, in die ou Transvaal, is die ANC se konstitusie geskryf. And they call it the Freedom Charter. And luister gou vir my. It says, in the written Freedom Charter of the ANC, that we the people, sound familiar? We the people do hereby agree that this country belongs to all whom live within it. And here it is, black and white. Mense, dit staan so, Google dit. Google ANC Freedom Charter, jy gaan op jou agterend val. It's unbelievable. So I'm telling you now in Xhosa, and if you understand Xhosa, listen to me. Uskanzonzo. By the way, that is my black name. That's my African name given to me in the times of the struggle and by all non-white people in this country whom love me. They gave me that name. Skansonzo. Sigansonzo. That's my name. And what does it mean? It means big man. Big heart. So when I go into the informal settlements of Luandle and Khayelitsha, Kayamandi, Diepsloot, Soweto, you can hear them when they see me scream, Halala Skansonzo Halala. Because I come from them. I am them. I find nowhere, anywhere in the Bible, which is now my most ultimate constitution, the referral that black people are not part of God's world. Send me that paragraph. Stuur dit vir my, want ek leer mos nou die Bybel. Ek wil 'n goeie Christen wees, maar stuur gou vir my waar dit sê dat swart en wit nie mens is nie. We are not black and white. We are human beings. So when people come and they tell me that I'm an agent and that I'm working and that I'm here to divide the people, julle moet wakker skrik mense. I really am trying to do my best. And if my best is not good enough, if you cannot join a group that grew from 18 to on our Facebook, we reached more than 2.1 million people. Tel me nou mooi hoor. These are the statistics by Warren Schultz, our director of communication, which is a brilliance of mind. We grew and are the biggest growing political movement in this country. And that's a fact. When you go to membership at uimsa.org, I want you to go look that we have received more than 3,500 emails. So much so that we've run out of space, capacity. As feite man. when we launched nearly 30 days ago membership at uimsa.org, our server crashed. We had to get bigger capacity. Warren doesn't know. So we started with automation. I'm asking you, South Africa, this is a movement for the people. Jammer, dis nie Vryheidsfront plus of minus. This is not a collapsed DA with Jonathan Steenhuisen, and I'm still waiting for him to call me to tell me where did he serve? Where did he fight? What gave him the credential? We the people. Where? And this is your leader of the opposition. This is who you've chosen to fight the mighty ANC, to keep Julius Frikkie Malema in charge. Hey, I'm sorry. That's like taking a Chihuahua, and respect to Chihuahuas, to a Rottweiler fight. This country doesn't need a Chihuahua now. Nee, mense. Ons het nie 'n klein kefferhondjie nodig nie. We need a fighter. We need a statesman. We need a politician. We need a soldier of God that can not only understand the enemy, the opposition, internally, but that is, sorry, pardon the pun, colorblind. That's got respect from the people that are non-white. That served the nation as a veteran. That understands how to count. Yeah, it's important. Because the economy is about counting. That understands budgets of billions. That's not afraid of the word B or T, billion, trillion. But more than that, someone that can sit in Switzerland in Davos, Barcelona in Spain, or London in the United Kingdom, or Moscow in Russia, Beijing in China. Munich in Germany, or Deutschland gesprochen, sprechen Sie Deutsch aber? Parlez-vous français? Je peux trop parler français? Che parlo italiano, che sono molto parte, You can speak 8 languages? This is important. Because to make South Africa great and to put SA first, you will need the world. You will need someone that can sit down and negotiate. You will need someone to put SA first. Not your pocket first. Not your friends first. And definitely not your family and comrades first. You see, when I get death threats, these are not death threats that are just there because I don't look nice. So what you want me to do is you want me to sit down. Think about my family first. Think about the millions of people that would like to kill me. And surrender. Well, I don't know. I don't know. Because at this current moment, you can say what you want to, but I'm out there. I'm fighting out there. Ek beklei namens julle. Met of sonder mandaat. Met of sonder mandaat. Ek dink ek het 30 jaar verdien om te praat, net my opinie. But the difference is I love you. I love you like my family. Moenie worry nie. Hulle skiet nie op my nie, dit is net 'n bak wat omgedonder het. South Africa, the African National Congress doesn't need an enemy. The African National Congress is killing each other. They're fighting each other. They are destroying each other. There's no necessity for us to get up and take them on. If there's one person that I am currently standing against, and that slowly but surely I'm recognizing, with respect as a national enemy of the state, If you really want to know, it's the EFF. Now, let me make this clear. I am vehemently opposing, not Julius, not Floyd Shivambu or Dr. Mlozi. You're getting it wrong. Kobus van die Westhuizen, dis 'n bol stories, doen my 'n guns, vat jou weg. Luister gou vir my, gaan staan op jou eie, en dan beklei jy daai oorlog, hoor. Maar ek delete jou nou. Weg sê Kobus, bol stories, gaan staan jy op 'n hoekie en dan spreek jy maar later vir vryheid, hoor. Soek jou nie nie. Admin will remove you now. Dit is 'n feit dat die mense dink hulle gaan reageer. Die toekoms van die land is in eenheid. The political parties must go. It's time for we the people. That's why we are an independent movement. We are a movement of independent candidates. Andreas sê, sit nie die emmers kop. You know, Sydney Smith, the young man sitting here across me, has stayed with me for this week to help me. Put eye drops 4 times a day in my eye. Make sure that I've got food and answer you. And I want to pay respect to Sydney Smith tonight. Do me a favor. This man goes through 200 emails a day, runs my office, and he's under threat and under attack like me. So I want to ask you quickly, if you know Sydney and he's been speaking to all of you, give him some hearts. Because if there's one guy, including Warren, Johan and Jackie, and ja, al hierdie mense, Charlotte, Dwayne, Gary, Kevin, it's these guys. So I want to make it very clear. This is a country for unity. Will we win the election? I don't care. We need councillors in the metros. We need people to stand up, and I don't care who it is. But we the people are taking government back. And if it takes us 5 or 10 or 15 or 20 years, the UIM will grow. I am the leader of the UIM because I love this country and because I am capable, not because I think I'm the right man. I feel the anointment of God, and I feel the support of you. I'm coming. I'm coming to Mossel Bay, George, Jeffreys, Plett, East London, Port Elizabeth, Durban, Bloemfontein, Kempton Park, Boksburg, Ekurhuleni, Pretoria, Tshwane, Johannesburg. I'm coming. And we're coming as a team. Because the UIM is not about Neil de Beer, and the UIM will never be about Neil de Beer. A leader that builds an institution, a movement around himself, should not be a leader. Because if the leader shall fall, the movement shall fall. And that's too late. The UIM is yours now. The UIM is 3,500 members big. The UIM is 3,000 people on YouTube big. The UIM is 22,000 people following our page. And this in 3 months. Suid-Afrika, luister vir my. Luister, daar's nie 'n EFF wat so gegroei het nie. Daar is nie 'n DA wat so gegroei het in 3 maande nie, want onthou, ons is Augustus, September, Oktober. Ons is daar begin. Ons het gelaunch basies in November. So ons het November, Desember en Januarie, en jy kan maar daai 2 maande afskryf Suid-Afrika. Ons het 3 maande, 90 dae effektief. En kyk hoe lyk ons. Maar nie kyk hoe lyk ons nie, kyk hoe lyk ons. Kyk my vroue liga. Dames, kyk die dames. Look at our women, man. Look at our strong, powerful women's league. Odette, Christine, Annemarie, ons dames is julle daar. Estel, waar is julle? Wys gou vir my, wys die mense kommentaar vir my. Waar is my vroue liga? Want dit is die vrouens wat opstaan. Dit is die vrouens wat sê, Hendrik, kom eens op. Siepo, is daar. Chanel, sy, kom hier. Dit is die vrouens. En dit is die mans wat verdedig. You know, it's very funny that the gentleman who I thought I'm getting a bit of respect for being Scott on Living Life. And I still have. I don't know why. I promised Scott that I'm coming to his country where he sits overseas. En saai uit aan die wêreld, né? About South Africa, hy sit daar. Ons sit hier. But I want to tell you quickly, I actually like the old man. So, the old man's not actually talking to me anymore, Uncle Scott. But I want to send a message out to anybody that knows him. Scott, I think you're a good man. I made a promise that I would come. I think he's in Australia, né? Sydney? Sydney is in Sydney. Ek het Sydney se naam gevat 'n bietjie Australië, né? Is there anybody that can quickly help us here? Is Scott from Living Life channel, Living Life, is he in Australia? I think he's in Australia, né? But he's definitely not in South Africa. And I promised Uncle Scott I will come there and I'll have a curry with him. Now, if Uncle Scott likes it or not, I'm coming. And I know that he will invite me. He's, at the end of the day, he's a South African and he's a Christian. But the other day, there was an announcement made that myself and Generaal Isak van Zyl, commanding officer of the Boerelegioen, that after 3 hours of debate, that we actually found common ground. And I want to tell you quickly that if a man like Isak van Zyl and a man like Neil de Beer can spend 3 hours on an interview and after that decide that we can work together in finding common ground, then who the hell is anybody else? I mean, you are talking an ideology of far right and far left, and they met in the middle. This is the miracle of this country. This is the miracle. To the people overseas, Yakone is. He's got a following. And the fact that myself and Isak van Zyl still speak, we'll find a middle way. Out of the 10 things discussed that night on 9, we agreed there was only one. But we'll find a middle way. So I'm going to go over to questions now. I want to give 10 books. 10 books. I want to sign it in your name. And I want to give you this book and send it to your home address. So I would like to, on our panel is Sydney, Dwayne, Jackie, Gabar, Jan Barnos, Johan Barnos. I want you to be the judges quickly and let's interact. Sydney, what is the time?
We are on 1 hour.
So we are now 1 hour and I want to start winding down. So let us quickly open. 739 of you. Absolutely, my brother. And then I'd like to ask the author, co-author Brad Stein, my brother, co-author Mark Fine, Brad Stein, to please put his details up here if he doesn't mind as well, because he will be the ultimate judge of who will be receiving 10 copies, signed copies of Undercover with Mandela Spies from Neil de Beer. We'll get it out to you. So go for it. Brad and the guys, you can adjudicate, take names, Sydney, and then we'll get hold of you. So let's go for it. Linda, please give me a book. Ask me a good question. Let's interact. We've got like 15 minutes, 20 minutes that I'd like to finish up with you. Wayne de Beer, what a man. That's what we need, a de Beer, right? Wayne. So, hope you're well, Wayne. Family, fair langs, ne? So, I'm going to quickly ask, you want to ask me a question? Or you want to make a profound statement? We'll adjudicate in the next 15 minutes. But, guys, let's speak quickly. So, I'm going to ask that we open now. Rina, eerste vraag van jou. Gaan en join jou leiers se groep. Goeie statement. Alet, sit jou op die lys, vra goeie vraag. Shirley, you bought the book for your son for Christmas. Thank you very much. That's unbelievable. Dapper muis. My hartse punt, I do. Bring on your questions. It's here. Mine are there. It says, Andreas, een van my mense, ek sal my boek terugstuur, wat hom net teken, please, anytime. Kom ons doen it. So let's ask those questions. Willem, in the UK, but the book might be a good read. I think it's a stunning read. It tells the story from a different perspective. Some young guys fighting for what they thought is right. So let's have those questions quickly. Wayne, absolutely. Moral compass and God is our way. Sally Lee Naidu, absolutely Chatsworth Urban. I'm coming, and if you can remember, I was the bodyguard in South Africa, funny enough, for Imran Khan. Good story. So Imran Khan, the current Prime Minister of Pakistan, was the captain in 1993-94 of the Pakistani cricket team. And Imran Khan came to this country for 2 weeks on a tour to raise money for a cancer hospital because his mom was passing away of cancer. And Imran Khan's bodyguard was no other than Neil de Beer. And one of the things I remember, he's now the Prime Minister of Pakistan, was that Imran Khan was loved by everybody, but specifically the ladies. So I had to spend most of my time outside his door to stop people sneaking into the passages. But I was then invited by Imran Khan on his tour across South Africa to Durban to join him because there were 2 or 3 very wealthy businessmen that invited him to the house. And let me quickly tell you, there's curry, there's mild curry, there's hot curry, and there's warm curry. And that night I experienced all 4, and 3 weeks later I was still experiencing curry. So I know as well that the Indian South Africans in this country are beautiful. So I'm telling you now, Sally Lee, invite me. Invite me to Chatsworth. I'll come because you are South African and Durban is a battleground. It's a battleground to take back the people's rights. So I'm there. Sally, your thoughts on affirmative action? Very good question. I think the time for affirmative action needs to be rediscussed. I'm very clear on record that affirmative action, BEE, in the written format was a good ideology, but it failed in implementation. And I wish for the day that the B goes away and that we can just have economic empowerment. Betty van Blerk, ek wil boeke net omdat in die Kalahari bly, lees omtrent net boeke. Hi, Betty, ons moet daar wees. Rassie, good question. Rassie Erasmus, baie goed. We failed in reconciliation because I think the term was hate. You know, people refer to it as apartheid. Today, nearly 30 years later, I feel this country hates each other more. But in actual fact, it's not so. I think the politicians want hate. People like Julius Frikkie Malema and the ideology of a national, socialistic, communistic ideology is slowly but surely becoming the enemy of state. And when I say state, definitely not the ANC, but you and me. As julle dink dit is net ons wat gatvol is, you should speak to the majority people of this country. The EFF is wrong. The EFF thinks they are above the law. The EFF and its leadership thinks it is untouchable. The EFF, with its nationalistic ideology of nationalization of the Reserve Bank, vehemently object. Land without compensation, vehemently object. Nationalizing the economy is utter rubbish. And slowly but surely, we need to focus on this group's ideology because it seems, without being liable, that their leadership is protected by government. And if any such evidence is required, then just ask yourself one question. Why, after 4 months of UIM and my effort for arrest, for letters to the president, letters to police, letter to parliament, no reaction? That when I demanded a certain arrest warrant to be issued, I was denied. And that came from High Command. And sorry, that is something that we are fighting. I want to make it clear, ek wil dit baie duidelik maak. My fight's not against Julius Malema. He's a human being in spirit. My problem is not Julius, Frikkie. It's not Nlozi. I told you it's not Chavambu. My problem at this current moment is the fact that they are splitting this nation. Rassi, they are doing exactly that. They are ruining every effort of reconciliation this country ever had. And if that is so, I'm sorry, but they become our enemy. Reconciliation can only be done by us. And South Africans want to reconcile. Get rid of the politicians. Let us take the country over. I think it is Natanya Marnevik that asks, will you tax politicians heavy? Natanya, no. I'll get rid of them. Simple. It is amazing that Cyril Ramaphosa, leader of this country, is trying to tell this nation that we don't have money, but he hasn't half the cabinet. So there's the answer, Tatanya. When I and the UIM and the people of this country come in power, we will, because the Bible says proclaim it and it is yours. I've proclaimed the presidency. I have proclaimed UIM success because I serve an audacious God. I serve a God that says vra en dit sal beantwoord word. Klop en die deure sal oopgemaak word. How can you not believe in a God that made heaven and earth and all that moves and crawls in 6 days and rested on the 7th? And you're asking for this? We are asking that the UIM enters parliament? Maybe. That the UIM gets 5 or 10 people in? That with your support, the UIM maybe becomes the official opposition? No. We want government. And this country must rise. And that's why we are not focused on one demographic. Because to change the country, we must change government. And to change government, we need to change governance. And to change governance, you need to change policy. Mense, politiek is 'n snaakse ding, en ek ken hom. The ANC has a policy. They win the election. And the ANC's policy becomes government policy. Hoor my? Die ANC het sekere reëls en sekere aktiwiteite wat volgens hulle ideologie is. Hulle staan in die verkiesing, hulle wen en dan raak die ANC se ideologie die staat se ideologie. So dus, as ons land wil terugvat, as ons wil seker maak daar is 'n lopende ekonomie, dat ons SAL, Denel, Eskom, wat nou verander na Esgaan, nie Eskom nie, want hulle, jy weet ek wag nog, hulle arriveer, wanneer? Dis tyd dat ons die SOE's ontbind. Dis tyd dat Suid-Afrikaners waarde kry vir hulle belasting. So no, I'm not going to tax politicians more. I'm just going to pay them less than half them. You do not need all those ministers. You do not need all the deputy ministers. You don't need all the DGs and the deputy DGs and Jy raak my heeltemal mekaar, man. Die gee. En gee. Ek bedoel, besigheidskaartjie seker so. Die gee. Wat lyk my, ons gee en ons kry niks terug nie, né? Nee, 'n bietjie van 'n ding. Maak sommer Suid-Afrika. Wat kry jy vir jou belasting? Regtig? You see, tax is like an investment. You must get ROI. What ROI do you get? Soos my oom Frikkie gesê het op 'n plaas buite Stellenbosch. Niks. Stel dat ons iets terugkry Suid-Afrika en dit begin by die municipal elections. Dit begin om ons stede terug te vat en nie vir die DA te gee nie, want die DA is daar. Nie die EFF nie, want die EA is weg en is nêrens. En nie die ANC nie, want hulle soek nog die stad. So weet jy wat? Ons, Johan en Pieter en Onlosi en Sipho en Jan en Lafras en Annemarie, julle bly in 'n wijk, man. Julle bly in 'n wijk. Dis julle dorp. Daar's iemand wat rondhardloop en altyd die plumbing doen en kinders kos gee en daai is die gemeenskapslid. Is dit nie? Because you don't know your own politician. Louis Scarlett's medical aid costs are too high. How will we fix it? Well, by making sure South Africa first. Why must we import medicine? We've got enough here. Are you telling me pharmacists and people in this country that are making medicine, biochemists, are you telling me that we are rubbish? I can't believe that. So plain and simply, we will be moving factories, creating our own nappy codes and making sure that our own medicine is created domestically so that we can pay cheaper for it. This is not brains. This is logic. The standard of our governmental hospitals is poor because there's no management. So there will be management. I have made a promise that when I am in government, be it local government, any UIM member that's going to stand for this government, any one of them, will be responsible and will be held accountable by me, by my executive team, and by this country. You see, that's nice. Want as Johan Snyders, jou wijkverteenwoordiger as 'n independent, en Johan bogger het op, dan gaan moer ons vir Johan. Ons verwyder hom. Maar in die ANC en die DA en die EFF van die gespuis, jy kan nie. So luister gou vir my. In jou wijk, as daai independent nie doen wat ons wil hê nie, en dit is maak potholes reg, maak jou sypaadjies skoon, kry jou rubbish verwyder, maak sure dat daar sewage en krag. As daai man in jou wijk nie dit doen nie, dan wyk hy, né? Wyk. Jy moet wyk. Nee, jy moet bietjie wyk, né? Jy moet wyk. That's accountability. That's accountability. Maar op hierdie oomblik sit jy met 'n DA-lid wat met sentraal praat. Nommer asseblief sentraal. En jy kan nie sy plak trek nie. Wel, nou gaan ons independence toe en jy is sy baas en jy trek sy plank. Wyk. Satan, wyk. Jy's weg. Wyk uit my wyk uit. Ja, is net so. Wyk uit my wyk. This is what an independent candidate does better than a political party. That's it. Marlene, Mankies, what can we do to get our churches open again? Marlene, it's incredible that we can go to a mall, but we can't sit in church. It's mind-boggling that in a time that we need God and prayer, that churches can't convene, and this is your constitutional right. Nou, dames en heren, kom ons praat gou daar. I've asked. Neil de Beer is a leader of the fastest growing political movement in the Republic. On stats, it's a fact. They can't stop our growth. In elke dorp, in elke stad, in elke metro vloei die mense. Membership at uimsa.org. It's coming. Hoor jy die magtige dreuning? Do you hear the tsunami of we the people? Do you? August this year, we are drawing the line. August this year, the UIM is taking wards in every council if necessary. En as daar een mens is in Kreersdorp, een mens in Benoni, Brakpan, Vrystaat, dan fight ons soos 1 miljoen. Want met die Here se genade sal ons opstaan in daai council en vir hulle sê, maar jy jok. Jy lieg. Jy's 'n verraaier. Dis 'n verraaier. Is iemand wat sit en sy eie mense sien bloei en niks doen daaromtrent nie. That's treason. So what are we going to do? The United Independent Movement will contest every council that we can contest. And if we are one person in council, that will be the voice of God, that will be the voice of reason, that will be the voice of justice, and that will be the voice for Christ. Against crime, against corruption, and the redistribution of capital. C. Corruption, crime, capital, Christ. Now, if you are not Christian and you're Muslim, you're a Jew, you're a Buddhist, you're not excluded. You're not said, no, you cannot join because the UIM functions on Christian principle. It will never disrespect or exclude people. As a Christian, it is my duty to spread love, forgiveness, hope, belief in the Almighty. No judgment, no regret. Turn the other cheek and forgive 70 times 7. That's principles. I have paid it forward all my life. My ideal is a beautiful South Africa. Sally Pot, what will you do to regain capital? Sally, can I tell you something? Good question. I'm already. If I must tell you, the amount of global leaders that are talking to me blatantly, it's unbelievable. I have investors' confidence. I am in banking. I am in finance. So I lead it. I have a head office in Europe. So when I sit down and borrow $1 billion here and lend out $2 billion to governments and states in Africa, that's what I do in the IFA. Invest Fund Africa funds governments. We speak to leadership. I have been doing this for 6 years internationally, and when I go to the World Bank and I go sit with the IMF and the African Development Bank, I am a leader. And that's why I'm telling you, it's not just my domestic competence, it is my global interest. Because foreign direct investment must come back. Mense, kyk hoe praat ek. Luister gou, julle moet 'n paar speeches kyk van my op YouTube. Voordat ons hierdie politieke beweging begin het, luister gou, ek praat op internasionale konferensies. En wat sê die leiers oor see? Wat sê die bankers? Wat sê die investors? Hulle sê, Neil, we are faith in you. Because at least when we give you money, you don't steal it. At least when we give you R1 billion, we get 2 billion in return, and that's not selling out your country. Stel jy belang nie? Toe die De Beer, nog 'n De Beer, goed om die De Beers vanaand hier te hê, what's your view on taxing to fund COVID? No. No. You are not going to tax us for the money that you incompetently stole and made disappear. Nee, you have government, you put out our savings, you lock up the people that committed corruption, you re-invoice trade agreements, you stop borrowing money from the IMF, you stop bloody taxing South Africans, and you stop murdering us, and you get us to collectively unite. That's how. You stop it. Now, South Africa, if this sounds right, then vote for us. Because if I can do what I'm doing globally, if I can travel the world, and I'm traveling again soon, to speak about my country, to speak about my country not being junk, to speak about trust for the UIM here, I'm traveling the world. And here's a message quickly, luister gou vir my. Every South African that's overseas, every single South African that is overseas, you are still South African. Mark my mooi. If you are currently watching me overseas, type quickly. Tell me, where are you? Skryf gou vir my, ek wil sien. If you are sitting in New Zealand, if you are sitting in Australia, if you are sitting in America, if you are sitting currently in London, if you are sitting in Switzerland, Finland, I want you to quickly type in and tell me where you are, because you are bloody South African. You belong to us. You took a decision. Yes, you did. You took a decision to leave this country for a better life. You took a decision so that you could create a better life for your children, but you didn't take a decision to leave your country in heart. To every single South African staying overseas, you are missed. We love you. We are now going to ask everybody just to punch a heart, man. Slat gou gou 'n hartjie. And that heart I'm asking you now is for every person that's a South African that's away from home. Want ons bloody is mal oor julle. Ons mis julle. South Africa misses our citizens overseas. Antoinette, San Diego. Look at there. Antoinette, ons mis julle. Irene from the UK. We love you. David Mac, UK. Pamela, UK. You might be in the UK, but you're a South African. Judith, UK. We are there. Daar in die koue wat julle nou sit, ons is lief vir julle. Never forget, South African cannot give away its heart and soul. You've got the right to vote. All our people in the United Arab Emirates, in Dubai, Sharjah, every single one of you, you have the right to vote. Every single one of you can go to an embassy. And if you ever were told that your vote doesn't count, today it does. Boland Tennyson, our chairman of the United Independent Movement Council, Boland Stellenbosch. Boland, baie goed om jou te sien. My broer, mis jou. A man that has kept me sane, that has kept me Christian. A lot of love. Odette, Zambia. Odette, jy's klaar by die huis in ons hart. South Africa, do not throw away our people. If every single South African that is currently staying overseas goes to the embassy and votes, we will win it on that basis. So go talk to your family, go talk to your children, go talk to your mom and dad that stays there, but that is loving our country. It's our heritage. Because we love them. Cliff, RSA, Brakpan, moet 'n republiek wees. Brakpan, my broer. En hier's 'n ding. Cliff, ek het een rugby game vir Brakpan gespeel. Ja, ek. Daar by die Valke se ou kantoor. I am proud to say that my last rugby game as a prop forward was in Brakpan. They didn't tell me that they were going to play Springs. And they never told me that Brakpan and Springs hate each other and wil mekaar bliksem. And they asked me to play in a wynspan, and it was a revenge match. En ek is nog nooit so gebliksem in my lewe in 'n rugby game so Springs Brakpan nie. I decided after that, I'm retiring, ek gaan nooit weer, want boys, hoor gou vir my, Springs, Brakpan, benou nie Nigel, jy moet 'n bietjie taaf wees, hulle neek vir jou. So respect, Cliffy, ek's 'n Brakpanner, ek's 'n panner, my broer. Klaar. Liesel, my kinders praat nie in Suid-Afrikaans nie, hulle is vir altyd weg nie, hulle is nie. Hulle is by ons. So guys, I've got 5 minutes left. I have the proof. I took a screenshot and the email is proof. Annemarie, what is that about? Annemarie, I have the proof. I took a screenshot. What is that about? Annemarie Hagen Nel. Laat my weet, wat is dit? Anthony, Neil de Beer, you have my support. Thank you, Anthony. We are fighting. We are really fighting. SA can be the most richest, powerful country in the world. Tartanya. Amen. We are bringing it. Letitia Smith de Vera. Love Odette, beautiful lady inside. She is. Helena Brakpan, nou kom hy net langs Carnival, ons is daar. Daen van die kerk, sy sê jy is 'n trou. Bly trou is reg gespel, Rudy Erasmus, Frikkie Stuur, Talita, hoe gaan dit by die kriminele uitsorteer, ons vat hulle een vir een. En ons begin met die leierskap wat in Oranje moet wees, né? François, is vir jou Suid-Afrika. Absoluut. Absoluut. Andrei, Desiree, Angela Holzam, fantasties. Helena Tron, love Brakpan. Helena, in Brakpan, beste hamburger, Casbah. Casbah, as jy Casbah ken, ry nou, beste chips, beste burger, beste milkshake. Rina, was jou kar se engine gekroom? Ai, weet jy wat dit beteken nie? Ek sien nie iemand sê sy is 'n trou. Kan iemand net gou vir ons sê voordat ons afsluit, wie is die trou? Is dit Annemarie? Ai, Annemarie, ek dink jy moet maar koekies gaan bak, want die vroue liga gaan vir jou nou stamp. Jy klink maar vir 'n mens wat 'n melktert mee sukkel, né? Vroue liga, kry gou daar vir Annemarietjie reg. Oudet, jy lê die klap gou daar. Jared, not too many naysayers now, because we know. We know that. We absolutely do. Here's a question, can we vote in the Ogilvy? I've asked the question. Yes, we can. Yes, you can vote in this election. Moira Tak, support from Brackenfell. Nou, kom ek sê vir jou, daai dorp het te veel gehad. Hulle het te veel pyn en ek was daar. Love Brackenfell, nooi my 'n bietjie, wil 'n bietjie soontoe kom. Matilda Casbah toegemaak. Nee man. Jo. Sad. Many a burger in that place. Odette, love you. Diane, ja. Malan, maar jy baie sterkte in jou. Mag jy sommer gou weer 100% voel. Malan, met julle mense agter my, hoe kan ek nie goed wees nie? I can just feel better and with your wishes, we will be there. Hey, Kim, man, the roadhouse of my young days. Ek onthou daai Hendrik, wat van ons onwettige buitelanders? Huis toe. Ons moet hulle op flossies sit en uitvlieg. I'm very clear. In this country, if you're a foreigner, and you are not adding value, and you are not adding to the tax, and you are not adding to the quality of South Africans, huis toe. We must start that again. We must get up and protect the right of South African citizens first. Sorry. This story of us continually kicking people out, and because we're kicking them out, at the end of the day, we are xenophobic. No, we are South African. Now, I know neighborly love. But neighborly love must be first about people. And that is why I'm telling you now, very clearly, that we need national service back. That's why I'm telling you now, we must stand up as South Africans and bring displuk terug. We need to reinvent the South African defense strategy to also make sure that we have got what we call a civilian defense unit. If we have a civilian defense unit, like the National Guard in the United States, something like we used to have, and I'm no doubt part of the agreement that ended the commando system, and we didn't end the commando system because we didn't like it. I acknowledge that we closed it because we feared it. That does not mean that the old system of commandos is bad. It does not mean that it did not serve a purpose. I am in agreement, and I am talking now to people to say, it's time that we bring a civilian security force under the defense force, back to every town. Get the youngsters of this country to volunteer and train through all the demographic and protect our farms. America has a system. What about South Africa? Hoekom kan ons nie 'n burgermag terugbring nie? Dan het ons dissipline, ons het sekuriteit en ons het nasionale trots. And maybe out of the people that we can get 1 million or 2 million to serve and to come back to a civilian force, then maybe we can use a quarter of them to protect the bloody borders so that people can't just come across and then take us for a ride. Because I am not saying I am going to build the wall. Ja, dat gaan 'n lang tyd vat. I am saying we need to get involved and make sure our borders are protected. That's what we are saying. Jared, townships in the middle of the suburbs don't have power. I agree. And Jared, we need to start refurbishing there because it can be rebuilt in a human way. Someone said to me the other day, Neil, what about the pensioners? I'll tell you what about the pensioners. They can't survive on the pensions they've got. They cannot. So here's the thing, the pensioners of this country deserve a better life. The pensioners in this country deserve not more money, more dignity. And if money will make them better, then so be it. I'll tell you how we pay pensioners more. Stop stealing in government. And if you stop stealing in government, the billions, you've got more money for the pensioners. Man, dis logika. But you've got to have the guts. You need to have the chutzpah to get up and say to this government, you are wrong, and you will remain wrong until the people govern. So this is not about this is about fighting. And can I quickly tell you, TG, what about the overcrowded prisons? We are going to build more. Because justice must be justice. Miskien moet ons 'n bietjie land daar buite Beaufort Wes koop, né? Daar waar dit 'n bietjie warm is in die aand, ag in die dag, en 'n bietjie koud in die aand. Because prison should not be a holiday camp. If you are in prison, you are there to pay back a debt to society. And when we take over as the UIM, daai prisoniers gaan begin werk, my broer. Because your debt to society is because you committed something against society. It's not funny. You can't sit in a cell from 6 and 6 at night and eat my food that the taxpayer pays. Jy moet werk vir die Here en vir die God se sonskyn in aangesig. Jy gaan aartappels plant, my broer. Because maybe if every prisoner during the day fixes a pothole, maybe if every prisoner plants a potato, then all the state-owned old age homes can have food. You see, then the prisons can feed themselves and we don't need a scandal like Busasa. Simple. Let's go back. Pauline, rehabilitation. That's why they call it the South African Department of Correctional Services. What's the percentage of correction? Well, justice must be justice. Zondo Commission, nearly 1 billion, not one minister in custody. So people are asking me, Neil, what are you doing about Julius? Neil, what are you doing about this? Neil, what are you doing? What are you doing? I am you. Hoor vir my? I am you. Ek is jy. I can't do more than what I'm doing unless I get into power. Unless we stand up. Unless this country gives us a mandate as the UIM, then what do? Well, we keep on screaming, we keep on talking, we keep on rising, we keep on moving a million, we keep on doing pamphlets, writing letters to parliament, screaming and taking people to court, but this is not governance. Suid-Afrika, ons moet parlement toe gaan. Suid-Afrika, ons moet inkom in Augustus om die politieke partye te neek, sodat ons leierskap kan kry. En ek vra u, ek sluit af, word wakker Suid-Afrika. Hierdie mense wat aan mekaar my uitkyk as 'n verraaier en as 'n persoon wat die politieke party wil ontstig, nee, we are not dividing the opposition, we are the opposition. If it quacks like a duck, swims like a duck, and looks like a duck, it's a bloody duck. So we can re-vote these people in again, and again, and again, career politicians that don't want to lose their job because it's the only job they know. But no delivery. Nothing. What happens? Well, I'll tell you what has happened for 27 years. People, the only way that we can change the country is change it. You don't need to have a degree. I'm not an educated man, I'm a militarist. But I'm not stupid. Look at me, I'm a global recognized economist because I've decided to learn, study, fight. So all I'm asking is a chance. Someone asked me the other day, how do we trust you? You earn trust. I'm not asking you to trust me. I'm wanting to earn your trust and by God I'm working. Paul besuidenhoud, wat moet ons doen? Ons moet stem, my broer. Ons moet ons wyke terugvat. Ons moet nou seker maak. Ons fight. We've got to get in there. I'm leading it. Who are we? We are a people's governance. There is no alternative, people. You're coming through a country that ate bananas, sell bananas, only know bananas, people that grow bananas, and people in power that make a law that says you're only allowed to eat banana. We have been eating bananas for 27 years. Die mense van hierdie land is nou gatvol, nie vir die vrug piesang nie, maar om piesangs op hierdie oomblik in 'n banana republiek te eet. We came up with a strawberry. The United Independents said we are not going to eat bananas anymore. Ons is moeg vir piesangs. We want strawberry. And what I did not know, when I left the Banana Republic ideology, like so many of you, with the hope, when we decided to go from banana to strawberry, when we said that the people that get money for banana force us to eat banana and force us to only know banana, when we put up strawberries, people say, yo, dis 'n lekker ding. What I did not know, ek gee te kenne, I never knew that we are so deep of hating banana, dat die aanvraag vir strawberry so groot is. Nie I admit. I never knew that when we dished up strawberries, that the people wanted strawberries so much. We ran out of capacity, we ran out of money, we ran out. But for 5 months now, the time for strawberries is there. So let's get rid, not of banana, hoor gou vir my, moet nou nie môre vir my kom sê, soos iemand vir my gesê het, maar jy move jou oogklap nie, jy nou, frikkie. Ek sê nie piesang boer. Môre gaan iemand weer sê, President of the UIM does not like banana. Mense, daar's niks lekkerder as 'n 1 liter vanilla ice cream met 'n piesang nie. Kyk, hoor gou vir my 'n banana float and bout enige tyd, saam met 'n tamatie breadie. So ek val nie piesangs aan. Ek sê, as 'n analogie, we are tired of a banana republic. It's time to change and only you can do that. Only us. Ja, Maxwell, we must roll. We must come. Membership at uimsa.org tonight is where you begin. And if people tell you they don't want to see my video, Wynand, wat gatvol is vir my video's, wat sê dat as een mens nog 'n Neil de Beer video na my toe stuur, dan gaan ek hom blok en delete. Wel, vat jou laptop en moer hom by die venster uit, because Neil de Beer and the UIM are here to stay. Een oog of nie. So hierdie mense wat aan mekaar vir u aanval, hy sê, it's not easy to be with me. It's not easy to speak about the UIM. I know it's not. I know that you get fought. But one thing I know, the people here, the 654 that stood with me, the 22,000 on Facebook, the 3,000 people writing to membership at uimsa.org, the 3,000, Aletta, gooi daai piesangs, hoor vir my, die mense van die land het 'n besluit geneem. Wit en swart, dis genoeg. It's enough. So I'm tired as well of making videos. I am tired of going around, but this is my job now. I've left my business. I've handed, and I'm currently winding down my business interest so that I can lead you in no matter capacity. no matter where you want me. But do me a favor. Annemarie, ek raak nou staties gatvol vir jou. Hoor gou vir my? Annemarie Hagenel, I'm now starting to get irritated with you. So ek dink, Annemarietjie, jy moet gou jou bek uitpraat, want ek sien jy neek aan mekaar hier op. Now, I'm telling you now, kyk my oog, Annemarie, I'm giving you one more chance to write me a personal email. Nou moet jy my mooi verstaan, ek is nie jou kind nie. I am not your child. So hierdie slang moet jy nie uitkry nie. Ek is 'n eerbare, godvreesende mens, maar jy is besig om aan my te krap. Jy is besig om my aan te vat en my te beswadder hier. En my te laster. So Annemarie, Marie Hagenel, you need to write me a letter on info@uimsa.org. En vir my verduidelik waarvan praat jy? Otherwise, I'm going to take irrevocable steps against you. Now, I hope you've got money, and I hope you've got presence, and you've got law. Because you are starting statically to irritate me now. I'm sorry. But I've been on here now for an hour and a half. I've been sitting here in recovery, but still fighting, and I am not going to take this from a lady who does not serve in uniform, or does not seem to understand service. So before blocking you, which I am, you have an opportunity to write me that personal email and I'll respond within 24 hours. And if I do not, then you kan maar gaan preek vir die beswaarders. But I'm not going to take you. You are a child. When you can tell me that you have served 52 years like me on global, border, political and business in leadership, suffered what I have, and even torture, then you can talk to me in that manner. If not, then go to your level and be quiet. You're not talking to a child here. We are busy with serious stuff. We are busy with a fight for the freedom of our country. We are not busy with children here. We are busy with a person like me that's being threatened, whose life categorically gets attacked, and who needs protection every day for me and my family. En dan kom neek jy hier so op 'n platform. I am not your child. Do not take my kindness as a weakness, young lady. Klaar gepraat. South Africa, this is clear. We are busy with serious stuff. People are dying in this country. People are currently fighting for their lives. People are currently under COVID. People are currently losing family. And they are losing business. People are currently being threatened with their lives. People have no hope. People are saying there's no leadership. And people want leadership in this country. So I am sorry. But I'm not going to sit here and be abused by a singular human being that does not have my global and international interests. South Africa, we are tired of this. We are tired of people that sit in their homes and pencil push and not add value. I will not stand for that because you, the UIM, are also under attack. You are also being fought with. And this is not where I am leading this country. I'm leading this country into a new era. But leading a nation is not my decision. Leading a country is no joke. Leadership takes sacrifice. Leadership takes fairness. But no doubt, leadership takes soul, guts, determination, and no fear. I only fear one thing. And I will make this very clear. Ek is bang vir een ding. En dit is ons Here, ons God. I fear God. And I don't fear my God. I have respect in fear. No doubt. I kneel in front of my God. You can see the sign. This sign was given to me by a friend. It says, I am a child of God. Yes, I am. You see, Anna-Marie, do you on a Friday and a Saturday night put on a bulletproof? Strap on a gun? Do you? You see, when Anna-Marie, you sit at home, I fight. Where have you ever heard of a political leader that every night for the past 455 nights, 64 weekends, fight crime? I do. Been shot at, stabbed at, rockets, Molotov cocktails, petrol bombs. People that kill, I've got to go arrest and support the police. What are you doing? The anti-crime tactical unit with Gabar Security, Johan Barnhouse. More than a year we fight now. Waar's jy, Anna-Marie? Jy bak nie eens vir ons koekies nie. Jy bring nie vir ons kos nie. Maar ons moet as normale mense uitgaan en beklei. Ons, die ACT CRU eenheid, is oral in hierdie land nou. Anna-Marie, Dwayne, Dark Sky, we are a force. We stand side by side. So I'm not going to be intimidated by criminals. I fight them already. Go to our Facebook page. ACT. Go look. Normal people. Normal human beings, teachers, referees, engineers, strap on the bulletproof to take our country back. And Jackie Olivier is here. Johan Barnhouse is here. We fight. We don't just talk, we go arrest. So I don't know what I can do more. I don't know. Christopher, as jy regtig wil weet, nooi my uit. Ek wil nie jou taal hier nie. Edmund, take that man off. Jou taalgebruik is afskuwlik, Christopher, gaan terug na jou ma toe. Praat met jou ma, leer maniere, en dan kom jy tikkie terug. Hierdie is 'n platform vir mense met Christen beginsel. Nie met jou vloekwoorde nie. Was jou mond uit met seep, of ek stuur iemand om vir jou 'n bietjie sunlight te gee. Sies. Sla. Hierdie plek is nie vir onbeskofte mense soos jy nie. Jou taalgebruik voor dames is verskriklik. So vat jou weg. Daar's hy. Dames en here, ons is nou amper 'n uur en 'n half. I have been told that it's time to wind down. I want to thank you for being with me. Ek het weer eens gevra dat u asseblief openlike vrae vir my moet vra. Ek het gevra dat u met my moet praat, en as daar enige ander goed is wat u vir my wil weet, vra. Anna-Marie Driver is nie jy nie. Sydney, please rectify. It's not Anna-Marie Driver. So Anna-Marie nie, is nie jy nie. Ek moet clear wees. Daar's 'n Anna-Marie hier, wat aan mekaar sukkel en nie verstaan wat 'n level sy op sukkel. So ek wil dit net seker maak, dis nie Anna-Marie Driver nie. Anna-Marie is een van ons dames. Finally, we are going to fight. Gender-based violence, I'm very clear on it. Ons weet waar ons staan. You know, at the end of the day, I've made mistakes in my life. I want to make it very clear I've made many mistakes. I want to make it very clear that I am not a person that has not fallen. My history is full of it. To say that I'm a sinner, yes I am. As ek 'n sondaar, ja. Het ek foute gemaak? Ja. Het ek om vergifnis gevra? Ja. As ek 'n seun van God? Ja. Is ek bereid om te ly? Ja. Is ek bereid om terug te staan? Nee. Because no matter who you are, and no matter where you come from, you can be reborn. No matter what you've done on earth, if you ask for forgiveness from those that you sinned against, and from those that you harmed, you can only beg for forgiveness. I have done so. Forgiveness is something that is very difficult for human beings. Dit is baie moeilik. Dit is verskriklik moeilik om te vergewe. Inteendeel, dit is baie moeilik om aan te beweeg. We at the end of the day want to move on. There's no one in this country that can say that we are clean. All that we ask every day is our daily bread, is to go on our knees and thank you, and thank God that we have the opportunity. For those that are upset, time will come for forgiveness and to move on. Vir daai mense wat op hierdie oomblik nie wil deel wees van 'n land wat wil begin nie, dan op die einde van die dag kan ons jou nie oriënteer nie. The United Independent Movement is moving. The United Independent Movement wants to move. Plain and simple, I am willing to fight. I have been. But unity is important. I hope that tonight, again in this hour, again more than an hour, that you will understand me. I just want to ask that I'm sorry if I took so much time. Edward, baie dankie. Baie dankie. But I'm with you. Mag die Here julle seën. Mag die Here vanaand Suid-Afrika seën. May God, our ultimate president, put his hand over the Republic of South Africa. And when you call a family meeting, make sure that family respects the Father, the Son, Jesus, God, and the Holy Spirit, the Heilige Gees. Without him, without our spiritual leadership, we can achieve nothing, but through him, we can achieve everything. You must know that the UIM is led by a group of people that come from you. I ask you tonight not to trust us, but that we earn your trust. If not, that is fine. We will meet you at the ballot box. We will meet you in the future. But if you are with us, let's grow this organization. Membership at uimsa.org. But if you've got questions to me direct, you can send it to info@uimsa.org. That is for your questions. Vra my, stuur my. As jy nie hier wil vra nie, stuur my 'n e-pos na info toe. But if you've decided that the UIM is your home, is your political future, and that you want to take your city and your wards back, then send it to membership@uimsa.org. Come in next week, Wednesday morning at 9 o'clock, and listen to what we are ready with in a new intervention for political membership. Ingrid, thank you. Rest well. South Africa, God is with us. And in biblical term, if God is with us, then whom can be against us? As die Here saam met ons is, wie kan teen ons wees? Dit is my geloof, dit is my belydenis, dit is die fondasie waarop die UIM staan. We have none other. This is a people's movement, this is your movement. Next week, 15 of us that are in the leadership currently temporarily are meeting in Cape Town, where we will discuss for 2-3 days the future. Where those members, ordinary people, will then go back to the Free State, Gauteng, Eastern Cape, KwaZulu-Natal, Limpopo, Mpumalanga, Northern Cape, to go spread the word. These people serve so that you can have a voice. Remember, make this personal. This election in August, this is personal, this is persoonlik, dis nie 'n politieke party nie, dis nie 'n politieke stem nie, dis persoonlik. Maak die UIM persoonlik. Make this yours. Speak about it. Fight for it. Because it is that and that only way that we can again govern a country with a moral compass against crime, against corruption, with the foundation of Christ. May I now ask that all of us, just for 1 minute, can just close our eyes. I would like to end up with a prayer, if I may. Dear Father God, thank you very much for the opportunity. Ons Hemelse Vader, baie dankie vir hierdie tyd met die nasie. Dear Father God, as a person that gave my life only recently, it is not easy to continue carrying a light. Graham Power, one of my greatest mentors, said to me that the day that you declare yourself in the light, the dark shall come. And make no mistake, Father God, it has, on many a time. For those people that have decided that they would like to build a new nation, a new country on the foundations of God, of Christ's divinity, rules and regulations and justice, peace, forgiveness, and non-judgment, may we guide them, protect them, and show them that South Africa has a heart of reconciliation. Father God, I ask you to please put a special anointment tonight on leadership like His Honorable Chief Justice Mogoeng, who still fights in the darkest of days to make the judiciary independent. May I ask that tonight you look after people like Michael Louis, in specific with an anointment, who guides our custodian Graham Power, a man of God, a man of worship. And God, yes, every single leader of an organization, and in fact, may you guide our president, so that the right decisions may be made in God, a time which is a time of strife, but a time of test. That we should never question what happens in this earth of ours, but the divinity is yours. Guide our nation, guide our people to a governance of justice, to a governance of peace, to a governance of all. Ons Here, ons vra U dat U ons handvat, dat die leiding vanaand met families wat verloor het, besighede wat vou, die mense wat honger is, ons mense wat nie dakke het oor hulle koppe en vanaand 'n maaltyd het nie. Dat U U hand sal strek, dat ons die woord kan aanvaar, dat alles is in U, en U is in alles. Ek vra U laastens dat U hierdie ons land, die Republiek van Suid-Afrika, sal genees. Dat die harte wat nog nie glo nie, en dat die mense wat nog staan, teenstrydig met wat ons wil doen as 'n nasie, dat U hulle harte sal sag maak. Ons vra vir die verstandhouding, ons vra vir die gees, die beskerming vanaand vir ons boere, ons plaaswerkers, ons mense in fabrieke, ons mense op die frontline, die polisie, verkeer, law enforcement, ons dokters, ons nurses en ons mense op hospitale. We ask you to protect our frontliners tonight with your absolute governance hand of peace. We ask you to bless South Africa. Ons vra die rykste seën oor die Republiek van Suid-Afrika. And we all said, Amen. South Africa, thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you. I see you again, hopefully, maybe with a better light and maybe with a better mood of understanding next week, Wednesday. I ask you that you also give a thought to our executive members traveling down to Cape Town next week, headed up by Boland Smith as our chairman, Daniel, people like Jackie, Dwayne, Charlotte, Cindy, Kevin, Johannes Sou, Kabar, and a new member that we are bringing in, Tanny Granger. Tanny, as jy daar is, we love you. Kyk uit, welkom Tanny by ons, daar die Suid-Kaap uit. Here seën julle, God se rykste seën, baie dankie, en ek waardeer julle, ek is lief vir julle. Baie dankie vir alles.